A voice woke me up at 3:33 a.m. and saved my life. I'd been ignoring signs for days, lights flickering like someone was blinking back. The same song popping up out of nowhere in different places. A pressure on my chest, a mute warning I kept labeling as stress. That excuse collapsed in the middle of the night. Someone said my name with an old kind of care, familiar like a hug that stayed in my memory. And even though I was scared, it calmed me. The temperature dropped a notch. A thin shiver ran up my arms. The windows were closed, but I felt a faint current brush my face. The voice, now inside, repeated, "Wake up." I set my feet on the cold floor, reality catching me all at once. I stood. I took 2 steps and stopped at the bedroom door, like someone holding the edge of the unknown. The direction came clear, without noise. Go. The sleeping hallway was washed in a bluish gray. The picture frames on the walls held the faces that shaped me, and, among them, my grandmother's smile. I could almost hear the kettle she used to put on when fear prowled the house. Her phrase echoed, crisp as if her mouth were right there. If you hear it, trust it. I took a deep breath and obeyed. The voice didn't push. It guided. I stopped at the kitchen entrance. For a second, I wanted to crawl back into bed, pull the blanket over my head, and promise I'd deal with whatever this was in the morning. But a word settled on my shoulders like a steady hand. Now. I pushed the door. The dark had a smell, subtle but unmistakable. Gas. Tension took over my whole body. My hands shook, but they did what they needed to do. I opened the window, let the cold air pour in, went to the stove, turned the valve, checked each burner, felt for a click that never came. I looked up at the detector on the ceiling, silent, useless, as if it were sleeping heavier than I was. The microwave blinked 3:33, insistent, like a witness. A short, brutal film played in my head, me waking with a headache, dizzy, my body refusing the day. I swallowed hard and stayed focused, going over every detail, repeating each motion, making sure. The house breathed again. And so did I. The silence, heavy before, started to change texture. I picked up my phone with trembling fingers. An unread notification waited. A message from the building. Gas maintenance. Service incomplete. Recommendations to keep windows open and check for leaks. I hadn't read it. The detector failed. The line between a scare and a tragedy that night was a voice calling my name at 3:33 a.m. My knees went weak, and I steadied myself on the table, heart still sprinting like it was chasing a way out. Then something simple found me, a soft, familiar scent. Chamomile. It wasn't coming from outside, or any corner of the kitchen. It was a living memory. The way my grandmother calmed the house when fear made noise. "It's okay," arrived without sound in my ears, but whole in my chest. And finally, my shoulders dropped. "Thank you, Grandma," I whispered, like handing the keys of my fear to someone who knows how to keep them safe. I looked at the clock again. 3:33. Repeating hours have always found me at crossroads I didn't want to admit. I've seen 11:11 before hard decisions. 2:22 on a feverish night when I prayed after years without praying. But 3:33 that night turned into something else. A reminder that when everything goes quiet, the unseen finds a way to speak. I don't have an explanation that fits technical terms, and that's okay. Sometimes meaning is what remains when doubt gets tired. I retraced my steps slowly. Valves closed. Windows cracked. I tested the detector. Nothing. I made a mental note to change the battery at first light. I let the air move through the room, as if it were washing not just the kitchen, but also the habit of pretending everything's under control when intuition is whispering. I put water on to boil. Steam rose, sketching a small wave in the dark that I almost could touch. I made tea. The gentle crinkle of the wrapper, the pour into the cup. Each tiny sound seemed to say, "You stayed." I sat with the cup in my hands and let gratitude melt the ice fear had left behind. I thought about how the smallest detours can save whole lives. I thought about the tone that called me, not an alarm, but care. And I understood that sometimes care comes from a place we can't see, a place that knows us by name. It might be memory, it might be intuition, it might be love crossing a veil we don't understand. Maybe it's all the same thing. Outside, the sky started to pale, gently tracing the windows in soft gray. The wood of the table gave a dry little pop, as if it were waking too. I spoke quietly, for the house to hear. "It's all right." I repeated my name the way the voice had, and as I did, I felt it fit again. I finished my tea, pulled the window in a bit, tapped the detector like a promise to take better care of life. Before heading back to the bedroom, I paused in front of my grandmother's photo. The glass lined up my damp eyes with her smile. I didn't ask for anything. I just thanked her, the way she taught me. "Thank you." I lay down. The sheets were still cold, but my body wasn't shaking anymore. The silence no longer felt like a threat. The voice didn't call again, maybe because the message had already landed. I closed my eyes with that repeating hour glowing inside me, a small light that doesn't burn. It just points the way. If someone asks what happened, I won't talk about loud miracles or try to convince anyone. I'll simply tell the truth. A voice woke me at 3:33 a.m., and it saved my life. If you ever see the clock repeat in the middle of the night, pause, breathe. Listen to what the world, beneath all the noise, is trying to say. And if this story touched you, share it with someone who needs a sign today. Leave your experience in the comments and subscribe for more stories like this. When fear whispers, gratitude answers.